My name's Minty. I am project managing a charity project at the moment called Walking the Courses, which is all being run in the racing world. And my old man, my dad, is walking between every one of Britain's racecourses. There are 60 racecourses. There are 2 at Newmarket. So that's all included in one walk. So there are 58 walks, ranging between 6 miles, which is the one happening on Sunday from Goodwood to Fontwell, all the way up to about 105 miles, which is the one that's happening between Carlisle and Ayr. Luckily in September, when the weather will hopefully be quite nice. And it's a charity campaign that is on behalf of 2 fantastic charities, Pancreatic Cancer UK and Racing Welfare.
And which jockeys and trainers are involved?
Well, we've had an amazing amount of support. Originally, when we started this project, we put together a list of what we called official supporters, and the whole purpose of them was to give the whole project credibility, to help us promote it within the sport. And the original trainers who we got on board, we have one for the flat, Charlie Hills, who sadly lost his brother to pancreatic cancer last year, hence why the Hills family have been incredibly helpful. And then on the flat, our official supporter is, on the jumps, our official supporter is Oliver Sherwood, who's been fantastic. So those are the original trainers we had on board. The original jockeys we had on board were James Doyle for the flat and Jason Maguire for the National Hunt. But since then, I mean, the whole racing's really rallied around it, and it's built up more and more support, and we've added to our official supporters, and they now include John Joe O'Neill, David Pipe, Eve Johnson Horton, Paddy Brennan. There's a whole host of them, so no, it's fantastic.
And I hear there's a special horse involved too.
There is. Many Clouds is when he won the Hennessy back in November. Lisa Kozak, who's Oliver's travelling head lass, she decided that she was going to take one of our wristbands, it'll become so well known now, and cut it up and put it on his brow band. And she took a photo of him with the Hennessy rug, and she sent it to us and said, "Here's your mascot, here's your equine ambassador." And we loved it. It was a bit of a novelty at the time, and we kind of ran with it. And then what do you know? He goes and wins the Grand National. I mean, we couldn't have really picked a better horse. And then of course he goes on to Sandown and wins Racehorse of the Year. So he's a very special horse to us.
And when will your dad finish? When's it Walking the Courses due to come to a close?
It will all tie up in April next year. It's a 13-month project because we arrive at each racecourse on the day of a meeting, and we fundraise and we walk the course as a kind of lap of honour, and we get the trainers and jockeys involved. To tie in with a race meeting in every single racecourse, it actually takes quite a while. So it'll all tie up in April next year. Back at Newmarket, where we started, at the Craven meeting, which was a meeting that my dad went to with his father for 26 years, and his father was the reason we're doing this whole campaign. We lost him in 2012 to pancreatic cancer, and he was a huge racing fan and taught my dad everything that he knows about racing. So we're going back to the Craven in April next year to wrap it all up, and hopefully I really hope we'll have hundreds of people there with us, and it'll be a really good fun day.
Are there any dates that the London racegoers should watch out for?
Definitely. We've got, there's 2 coming up actually, 2 quite close to London. There's Lingfield on the Monday the 1st of June, so a couple of Mondays from now. There's Windsor, which is the following Monday, and that's an evening meeting, so that's one that your racegoers might be able to get to. That's the 8th of June at Windsor. And then slightly later in the year we've got Kempton on Lanzarote Day, that's actually early next year on the 9th of January. And Sandown on the Friday of the Tingle Creek meeting, that's the 4th of December. So, and we would love to have any London racegoers along. I mean, come walk the course with us, come join in, come help us fundraise, it'd be brilliant.
And why would you tell our London racegoers to keep racing? Why is racing so great?
I think it's just a brilliant sport in terms of the crowd. I think it's incredibly inclusive, socially diverse crowd. Anyone can get involved in it. You know, you've got the higher echelons. You know, the Queen loves her racing, but then you've got, you know, Jack the lad, the chippy, who, you know, loves his racing and, you know, buys racing posts every day. And I think it is a really inclusive sport.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the charities you're doing it for? Racing Welfare is one of them.
Racing Welfare is so integral to the continuation of the sport, and it's one that I really urge your racegoers to go and look up, go and find out more about. And then we're also doing it for Pancreatic Cancer UK.
Both of them great causes. So, final message for London racegoers.
Keep racing.